Alright, I'm going to talk about black women and professional black women, and financial stability. Um, Pretty big, huh? First of all, financial stability. Um, we have a very basic understanding of what financial stability is. If I make $100 a day and the person next to me makes $500 a day, what are we automatically going to assume? That the person making $500 a day is more financially stable than me, who's only making $100 a day. And the problem with that is that financial stability is not completely based off of how much you make. It's about how much you spend. The key to financial stability is how much you spend. And that's the thing. That's why so many people get caught up. Most people are living in debt. Even if they are making more money, it's just because their spending is not being controlled. Um, so if I make $100 a day, and I'm able to spend or save $80 of it, right? Where the other person though, who's making 500, spends I don't know, $450 a day, right? Who's more financially stable, me or him, right? And this is the problem I have with a lot of professional black women, especially in California. When I say black women are materialistic, I'm not excluding other women, but it's Southern California. Everybody's Hollywood, right? And this is how you know people are materialistic, right? When they have the knockoff Louis Vuitton bags and the knockoff Gucci glasses, that's materialistic, even if it's not real. But just the fact that you have to front and act like it is tells me everything I need to know. It tells me the second you get enough money, you're going to go out and try to get the real thing. That's all that fake counterfeit shit. That's what it means to me. If I can't afford it, I don't wear it. Right? I don't really wear True Religion jeans. Like, I would love some, but the most I pay for jeans is Levi's, man. And they go for about maybe 50, 60. That's about the most I spend for a pair of jeans. Yeah, I can go to the swap meet and get some knockoffs and do all the other shit, but if it's not, feasible, it's just not feasible. And this is the problem I have. You have a whole bunch of professional women who believe that they want to be financially stable, which is a good thing, but they feel like, well, if I'm making good money and he's making good money, I can still spend the way I want to spend, right? And where you know how America's set up, it's set up to keep on buying, keep on buying, keep on buying. That's how it's set up. America's not set up for you to get, your little toys here and there and just chill. No, it's not like that. Keep buying, keep buying. Shit, I have an Xbox and an Xbox 360. And honestly, graphically, that shit ain't much that different. Like, the difference is not that great, to tell you the truth. So part of me is just like, yo, I spent, a couple hundred for this system, and honestly, it's not like how it was when you went from Super Nintendo to fucking PlayStation 1, like, I felt kind of ripped off, right? But that's just how America works, to keep you buying. They're going to come out with the Xbox 720 probably in a year or two, and everybody's going to rush out and get it. So the cycle keeps going and going. And especially in the black culture, especially in the black professional woman culture, there's this whole concept that, girl, it's okay if you're materialistic, you know what I mean, and you buy shit you don't need as long as you can afford it. Oh, girl, as long as you can afford it, it's okay. As long as y'all both can afford it, it's okay. And that, sense of materialism will catch up and bite you in the ass. Everybody talks about the whole foreclosure incident that's going on, the housing market across America. And my situation is unique living in Southern California, because the homes that are being foreclosed on weren't, your sub 100,000 homes. These were $1 million homes, right? My boy's parents live in a community where the average house is anywhere from 900,000 to 1.3 million, depending on your floor plan, right? So I helped them move in about 3 years ago. Oh, people was moving in, people who wanted to stunt. and there was two black families. Um, Both of them capitalized off of that whole shady lending practicing shit. None of them were professional, but they lied, they did this and did that. One of the guys, his wife or whoever, she wasn't even working. She was just a housewife. But they was living this life. They was stunting. They was doing this, E-class this, nice house this, flat screen this, all that other stuff, right? The fountain in the front of the house and all that stuff. Now I drive by that same neighborhood. Those houses are empty, foreclosed, banked owned. How do you have a bank owned sign in $1 million neighborhood? Right? It just looks tacky. I mean, if I was still on that block, I'd be upset. It's just riddled with those little signs. Bank owned, call 800, blah, 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 blah. Right? And it's that same mindset. And not just black people. If you go to areas closer to LA, there was people who were losing their houses. There was professional people. I was watching the news, and professional families. Mom's a doctor, dad's a lawyer. They was losing their houses too, just because it was too much. Everybody in Southern California was losing their house. It didn't matter how much the house was. People just got over their heads. People were selling their businesses that they had for 20 years, 30 years, and all that other stuff, and shit just went belly up. Professional people are renting houses now. 20 plus years in the game, they're renting, trying to get back to where they were before. And all this shit has to go, back to the whole idea of financial fucking stability. It's about spending habits. You don't need it all, right? So for me, it's a turnoff. People say, oh, black men are intimidated by, black women who make more. No, but you spot trouble, miles before it comes. That's how black men get to where they get. The ones that are successful. We're able to foresee shit. If we were fucking X-Men, that would be our superpower, right? I can tell you what's going on a couple miles ahead, or a couple minutes ahead. A couple of days ahead. That's how we get to where we get. That's how we're successful. We avoid the pitfalls. Because I see it happening. I did some videos before. I have homegirls who are just entering their profession and all that other stuff. And they're already trying to stunt. Spending money that they're not even getting yet. It's sad to see what happens when shit belly flops. I mean, I wish I had 15 grand because one of the people that got their house foreclosed on, in my boy's neighborhood, was selling their car. They were in desperate need of cash, right? He bought the car, paid it for in full, balling, thought he was doing well, went belly up, was in such desperate need of cash, was selling a 2006 E-Class, E55. So it didn't say 500 on the back, it said 55 on it, right? AMG. The package, like a car like that, will probably retail for about 90, easy. Was selling it for 15 grand just because he was so desperate. He didn't have no type of career, nothing really solid to fall back on. So desperate. I even tried to encourage one of my uncles to pick up the whip, but he was like, nah, he fell off. He didn't want to do it. But that's how sad it was. And it's that mind frame. So in closing, financial stability isn't a function of how much you make. It's about how much you spend in relation to how much you make. And I'm not cool with this whole thought and feeling that a lot of professional black women have that, if you're professional, you can support your materialistic habits. Oh, it's okay if you're professional, girl. You got the money. You might as well do it. And the people who are urging you to do this aren't financially stable themselves. Now, I'm not saying all black women are like that, but I'm saying that a lot of them are in Southern California, considering, Hollywood, the Hollywood culture, and the fact that the vast majority of women in Southern California are materialistic. The vast majority of people in Southern California are materialistic. So, I mean, I challenge whoever, who feels otherwise to come at me. But, I mean, if you live in Southern California and you just drive around the streets, you can't deny this one, even if you yourself are materialistic. So holler at me. Tell me how you feel.